Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Shakedown.
Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Philly Shakedown podcast with my co-host, Philly 500. What is going on, my friend?
What is happening, my man? What is happening? Who do we sign today? Who do we trade for today? It's every day something's happening, you know? It's like every day.
We're getting a little greedy now because I think we want more. We don't care what the cap looks like. We don't care. We just want more guys to get signed. So we haven't talked since last week, obviously, but we had, we're looking for that number 2 corner. You go out and you sign James Bradberry for the price. What do you think about the move?
I mean, we talked about it leading up to that signing. Like I thought that you had to get a corner. I thought that was the most likely place where they were going to go, and he was the best option. So it just made a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense from his standpoint too. He could come in. He has one really good year. He's going to play a lot, start right away, and then he can go test the market. So I mean, I thought it was an absolute steal to get James Bradberry.
I wonder what made him want to come here. I mean, this is a guy that had 11 teams after him, apparently, and want to pay him over $10-11 million a year. He comes here for what, 7.2, 7.3 plus 2.5 million, 2.5 in incentives. And at a really good price. I think he's 2.2 against the cap. I don't know if it's updated on over the cap. I saw 2.2 for the year. I could be wrong, but a really good price for a number 2 guy that came from the Giants as a number 1. And we're going to see how he does against number 2 corners this year. I
mean, listen. The Eagles are prime time location, dude. We're the number 1 landing spot right now. Why would you not want to come to Philly with everything that they've done? And like I said, they've done it in the right way in building this team. I think it makes a lot of sense for Bradberry. You're going to start right away. And he saw Steven Nelson come in, play, and then go and get a bigger contract. So I think it was a smart move. And not only, you can't discount the possibility that maybe he wants to play the Giants twice a year. Right? You can't discount
It's got to be on the table, yeah. It's got to be on the table. Shout out to everyone in the chat, guys. Appreciate being here. We got Clark Roberts, Raw Sather, Stigmata, Backyard Birds Podcast, Philly Fan 11, Mons, Zelik, Zenica, Robert Ucci, Samuel Rowe, Backyard. What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I know it's the weekend. Hope it was a hot day today. Today, where I am at least, it was pretty hot. And get ready for the summertime. And, once we get through this little bit of what we have, we're kind of looking for another signing here. So what are we looking for, in your opinion, right now? What's the next thing you're kind of thinking about?
Next thing I'm thinking is I really don't know that if they're going to make another big splash, right? Like I know we all want Jesse Bates, and I would love to have him, but I don't know if that's realistic at this point right now. Now, that could be something interesting when you get to the trade deadline, right? I think there'll be some more depth moves. I think you'll see a depth move maybe at running back. And here's my one out of the ballpark, probably not high odds, but something I would think about. Jadeveon Clowney on a 1-year deal, because I still think you possibly could use another pass rusher for that rotation. Like Hassan Reddick, you figure he gives you double-digit sacks. But who really else are we counting on to get us sacks? I mean, Josh Sweat, he if he can get us 7-8 sacks, that's good. Brandon Graham, I think he could get us 7-8 sacks, but we don't know about his injury. What if you added one more depth piece at the defensive end spot? Now, a lot of people hate Clowney because of what he did to Carson Wentz.
True.
I don't care. I'm over that. I've been over that for years. But that would be like that is not something I think is going to happen. That's just my like out of the ballpark, what if scenario.
Right. No, I get it. I mean, you have him as a rotational guy. I think he would, and he had 9 sacks last year, so a pretty good year for him. Because the edge rusher is it's not a big question mark, but you're hoping that some of these guys do produce. Like even with Brandon Graham, not looking for the sack numbers, but hopefully helping Fletcher Cox on the inside a little bit. And because we definitely missed that edge rush yesterday. I mean, Derek Barnett and even Josh Sweat kind of had not necessarily a down year, but should have had a better year last year. So. We have super chat from Sewell Blades. What's going on? He says, to the squad. Appreciate it so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got super chat from the John Bros. What's going on, man? He says, hashtag make stadium beers $5 again. Salute, boys.
Hey, I like the name John Bros. That's a pretty good name. Salute. Yeah, $5 beers again. It's great. Make gas like under $3 again.
Right.
I had to drive I had to get my mother-in-law staying with us, but she was visiting some relatives, so she was gone. She was about 5 hours away. So I got up 3:30 this morning. I drove, picked her up, turned right around, and drove all the way home. And literally, gas was about $7 a gallon on the highway. $7. And then when you try to fill it up, they're only letting you max out at $100. They shut the pumps off after 100. You can only put 100. So I guess they're running out of gasoline here in California here.
Oh wow!
So they $100 and it doesn't even fill my tank up. So it's like I have to put the gas, $100, shut the damn thing off, get in a car, drive to the next gas station, and then fill the rest of it up.
Totally you can't ridiculous. Use a different pump at the same gas station. You can't use a different pump.
I didn't try. I got so pissed off, I just left.
Damn, man.
But that's like that everywhere around here.
Yeah, for everybody that's driving, to go to work or, is going fast travel, it's a pain in the butt, man. I mean, lucky for me, I don't have to drive far to go to my job. And sometimes I'm even working home, so I really don't have to drive far. For people driving far, it must be really crazy. So definitely feel everybody on that. But Jadeveon Clowney is definitely somebody to look at. And what do you think? Like, even at the safety spot with Marcus Epps still there, okay, do you think they're comfortable with that? And I know they try to go after Marcus Williams in free agency, but do you think they're going to let the competition roll at safety? But what, if a guy goes down like is Marcus Epps or Anthony Harris, who's really behind that right now?
They definitely need depth at safety. There's no question about it. Listen, I think if let's say Jesse Bates, let's say he's really getting shopped around, like Cincinnati decides they're going to trade him, there's no question that the Eagles will make a play for him. I totally think they will. I just don't know, how stubborn Cincinnati's going to be with a guy like that. But I mean, I think it's possible. At this point, I can't put anything behind Howie. I do think they like Epps, though. I do. But as far as depth goes, I don't know.
It's a problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
We got Dave Edwards with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Did you guys see the Cilio pick the Birds to win the NFC? Appreciate the hard work, gentlemen. He did, huh?
No, I didn't see it, but that's why I love him. Cilio's the man. I like him, and I like the pick.
When you looked at this schedule and trying not to be biased about it, it's really hard for this team not to be contenders this year. I mean, at least to win the NFC East, at least to win a playoff game. That's as far as I think they're going. But really, how far could they go?
I I'm with you. I kind of I know there's some people. I think there's more people accusing the Eagle fans of saying Super Bowl. I haven't heard any Eagle fans say Super Bowl. I think that it's realistic to win the division, get a home playoff game, and win that. And if they do that, that's a big step forward. If everything goes right and Hurts is having a great year, I could see the NFC Championship game. I could see it. But I can't go above that right now. I just can't.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Here's the other thing. I mean, think about it. Who's so great in the NFC? You got Tampa Bay, the Rams, in no order. Packers. If you assume that Rodgers will be okay, which I think he will, even with losing his best weapon, those three teams. Who else am I thinking about? Maybe San Francisco, maybe Arizona. I mean, I think the Eagles are kind of in that second tier group. I think, you get the Rams, the Pack, and the Bucks, and then what? The 49ers, maybe the Cardinals, Eagles. They're right in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say they're the 4th to 6th best team in the conference right now. I mean, they have a pretty good shot, especially they have the same thing like they did last year with the 7 seed and stuff. Now they have like the extra seed. Was that just for 1 year? Does that count for this year as well? The extra seed that they have
this year too. Yeah.
And a new rule with the roster in general when you go into training camp and obviously when they do the final 53, I think there's an extra 2 spots now they can add to this roster.
Three
spots. That's big.
And by the way, all 3 spots, the final 3 spots, Howie Roseman has carte blanche. He has the right to choose the final 3, which I don't like, by the way. I think the coaches, that should be a coaching decision. But it's really a roster decision. He may be looking about compensatory picks. There's a lot of stuff like that goes in.
I mean, even the Bradberry stuff too. Even because if they release him and sign another corner, they'll get a compensatory pick. I'm hearing as high as a 3rd round pick, so they're definitely playing that compensatory pick game as well for next year's draft. A 3rd round pick, why not? Which would be really good.
I don't believe the Saints are better than us, too. I see that in the comment section. I do not believe the Saints are better than us.
No.
I don't. Winston's coming back from ACL. We'll see how good he is. But, people tell me when I did the schedule thing, people are saying, how can you're picking the Eagles to beat the Saints? Well, yeah, they're playing in December or January, I think January 1st, in Philly in the cold. And the Eagles have beaten the crap out of them the last 2 times they played them. You're damn right I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean they got Michael Thomas that he hasn't played in a season and a half, like close to 2 years.
They gotta go play in the cold. They gotta play in the cold in December.
Yeah, it just depends on Jameson Winston probably. They got Olave, they got Jarvis Landry now. They just signed him. So I mean they got good weapons out there, but it depends how it all comes together. Jameis Winston I don't think of him as much as anything. I mean, I don't. I heard that Drew Brees wants to come back, and whatever that means, or maybe he'll go back to the Saints this year. Maybe if they feel like they're in trouble, maybe he'll re-sign back with the Saints at one point. Maybe I don't know, but could be a possibility.
I mean, I can't imagine if Brees came back, he'd go anywhere other than the Saints. But we're getting to a point now where he's going to have to make a decision. Pretty soon.
Yeah.
I doubt Brees is going back. I don't think he's going to go back.
No, I don't think so either. Got Marshall Lynch 33 says I would rather load up on the D line and address the safety position. We need our D line to be a dominant.
I kind of agree. Like I think that with Bradberry at the other corner, I think Epps is at the very least a good bridge safety, or maybe Epps develops and Anthony Harris is the bridge safety. But I think you're okay there. If you add another piece on that defensive line where you have just this constant rotation of guys getting pressure, I think that would be good. Because, listen, there are some people out there trying to tell me that Derek Barnett is going to have a good year. I will never believe that until it happens. So if I could get like a Clowney who gives me 9 sacks, and that's going to be with Josh Sweat, who gets me between 7 and 9 sacks, and Brandon Grant can get me 7-9 sacks, and then Hassan Reddick gets me 10 plus. Dude, now you're talking one of the highest sack totals in the National Football League. I like that.
So if Clowney is on your line, what are your first 2 lines right now?
Well, I think you'd have. That's a great question. See, it's a great question because I think you got 2 different. You're going to have almost a hybrid scheme going, right? So at times you'll be in the 4-3, right? And then at times you're at the 3-4. Who's the defensive ends when you go to a 3-4? Will it be Williams and then Reddick on the outside? Is Brandon Graham going to be playing similar role on the opposite side as Reddick? I don't know how they're going to do the 3-4. Right. In a 4-3, you know, in a passing situation, it would probably be Hargrave, Fletcher Cox inside, and then you would have Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, and then I would rotate Clowney in. And then, you know, that's how I would start the season. And you could adjust after based upon production, but I would have Clowney as a rotational piece coming in. You know,
keep that line fresh. I mean, you take the Super Bowl year for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we had Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills on the outside. I mean, not a anything special, but you had Malcolm Jenkins to move around the field to kind of bandage up your secondary a little bit. But your defensive line was just a lot of depth and just keeping guys fresh. It's
going to be interesting because I am kind of curious about how they're going to run that 3-4. Like, what's it going to look like where guys line up? Is Fletcher Cox going to go out to the defensive end? And then, if Jordan Davis could rush the passer and be good at and play that nose tackle position at 3-4, that would be tremendous. So it's going to be interesting to see how they, I'm not sure exactly how he wants to use every player. But, I mean, I agree with the premise that is laid here. A great D line would be to me a choice over safety.
And if you're playing at 3-4-2, I think you have two guys like Jordan Davis and Hargrave that play on that no center technique in the middle there. Right. So I think you can use both of those guys. Yeah. Hargrave. Go ahead. You're good.
No, I was just gonna say I think Milton Williams has to play a big part in a 3-4 scheme.
Yeah,
in pass rush situations too.
No, I agree.
We
got a super chat from the John Bros. What's going on, man? He says, "Fly Eagles fly, Philly 500, come home, dude. Shakes. We need YouTube shorts on best Philly cheesesteaks. Hashtag Shake Steaks."
Shake Steaks. I like that.
It's not a bad name. We can franchise.
Talking all this Philly cheesesteak crap, man. I'm getting hungry. Yeah. But yeah, man. One day I would love to can't wait to get the hell out of this place. This place is going to hell in a handbag.
Yeah,
it's so bad around here. People have no idea. Like, I drove 5 hours from Northern California to Southern California. It's a shithole. Like, the roads are bad. Everything's bad. What the hell is going on? I'm sorry. I told my wife, I can't wait to move.
You got home and you were finished. You were done.
Yeah, exactly.
Philly also says the Wizards not done. This is the first season Howie gave fans what we want. Let's go.
There we go. And look at Philly also with that hat and the jacket. That's what I'm talking about. That's old school. I love it.
Yeah, it's you know what? I can't. I mean, I think the only thing we can really complain about is maybe Barnett coming back. I mean, that's probably as far as it goes.
That's my only. Listen, and I see Philly Fresh is in the house. Shout out to Philly Fresh.
But Fresh?
Listen, we got into it with Howie Roseman. They want apologies. Apologies not happening until I get a third good draft, and that's just the way it's got to be. But Howie deserves all the credit for this all season. I give him all the credit. I have no complaints except for the Barnett thing, which I'm not going to kill him on. I have no complaints about how Howie handled this all season. Matter of fact, I think he's pretty much gone step by step in what we've talked about every week. No?
Yeah, I mean, we've made videos on certain players coming here. We've made videos on A.J. Brown. I mean, we talked about Jordan Davis coming here I don't know how many times, because you're losing two defensive tackles this year. I mean, there's definitely he's definitely made some upgrades. You got your center of the future. You got a veteran receiver. I mean, you trade for a veteran receiver. You gave no day 2 picks. You didn't give up picks for next year, even from the Saints trade. You gave up nothing and still managed to have those picks. I mean, it's just insane what he did this year. I mean, the hype is real right now. I mean, it's getting to that point where we don't want to wait another 3 months. we want this to come by. Like, we want to see everything.
Howie has done a great job. I just I have no complaints about anything he's done this year. Really, I'd have no complaints about last year either. That's what I'm saying. You give me one good draft, or let's say the Eagles go out and win 13 games. I will do a dedicated apology video, and the air will be clear. But I'm not doing it too early and then jinxing the whole damn thing. I cannot do that. Not right now.
Yeah, no, I get it. But shout out to Philly Fresh though.
Man.
Guys haven't subbed him up. Please subscribe to his channel. He is an Eagles content creator.
He's
definitely
awesome.
One of the best. Check it out. Dane says Devontae was a start. Last 2 months helped trade JJ and Reagor for picks. I'm close to forgiving. What's going to happen with Reagor and JJ right now? Flat out, what do you expect?
I think JJ gets cut. No. I don't think he's going to make it. Reagor is another case because I was like, he's going to be gone. He'll get either traded or cut. And then I saw the pictures of them at camp or like OTAs, and he's behind Jalen Hurts all smiling. And I'm like, why is he so happy? Now, something's wrong with this. As soon as I saw that he was happy, I'm like, he's not going anywhere. Shit.
I made a video on him and pretty much saying what. So I think Reagor's going to be traded before training camp. That's what I think, and I think the signs are kind of showing. I think from the Eagles and what they've done on their official website, on the YouTube videos, they haven't shown Reagor specifically in any videos. Really, when you think about it, no press conferences, no specific videos with him in it. It kind of gives me the alarm that he could be traded. I'm not saying it's going to be for Chuck Clark or anything like that, but I'm just saying there could be a chance.
I think here's what I think. You have to play it right. It's just like an Ertz situation. Like I said last year, people were like, dude, Philly, Ertz isn't getting traded. Ertz isn't getting traded. I'm like, he's going to get traded. But you have to build up his trade value because he had a horrible year before. And what you do, you come out, you tell everybody how great Ertz looks at camp. Maybe he goes out, he plays early in the season, has some success, and then you move him. That's what they did. I think with Reagor, it's the same thing. You kind of got to build him up a little bit and then try to dump him on somebody. So I don't know if Reagor was playing the game early. He took all his Instagram stuff off and all that. That didn't help the matters. You gotta do your work. Post pictures of yourself working out, doing everything. Let your GM talk about how good you look. Let the players talk about you, and then trade them. That's what they have to do. I want him off the team.
I think part of him erasing his stuff on IG was pretty much like a fresh start for him. Maybe it was like clean slate, fresh start. But
yeah,
but I still
You're not going to get anything for him. What are we going to get for him? What are you going to get? You're not getting a 4th round pick. You're not getting a 5th round pick. The only thing he's good at is a situation where, let's say you go after Chuck Clark, right? And maybe instead of giving a 3rd round, they'll take a 4th round in Reagor or something like that. That's all it is for.
I think part of that so-called trade that was supposed to happen during the draft between when the Ravens are calling the Eagles, I think maybe the Eagles wanted too much for Reagor. Maybe the Eagles wanted a 3 to a 4, and the Ravens, because Howie is going to try to get something for it. He's not going to give anybody away for a 6th, 7th round pick unless he's got no choice.
Here's the thing with Reagor. Let's say you keep him, right? Mm-hmm. If you keep him and you're paying him his salary, now what the things I fear is that the front office is going to look at it and go, well, why are we going to have this guy be our 5th receiver? And when he's making all this much more money than everybody else, and then they try to put him in and force him to take snaps away from Quez Watkins or somebody else. That's what I don't want. So I can't see the Eagles doing that. So to me, they're going to either trade him or cut him because they're not going to keep him as the 5th option and pay him that kind of money. I don't believe they'll do that.
But Philly, look at all the receivers they signed too. Weedfall, just bodies. I don't care if they're practice squad guys. I don't care if they're starters or depth pieces. Look what they got. AJ Brown, Pascal. They brought Greg Ward back. They have that Weedfall. They got that Josh Hammond, that practice squad guy from the Jags. Like they're bringing so many bodies at receiver right now. You know what I mean? I'm just feeling like they're just trying to bring as much competition as possible, and that's another thing that's kind of alarming too, because I think that. They're trying to get Reagor out of here by he's not going to make it with this group that's coming in.
I think the Eagles. I think it would serve the Eagles more to cut him and eat the dead money than to try to force him to be your 3rd wide receiver. Because see, if he's on the roster, I think that they're going to make him the 3rd wide receiver because of his salary. That's my fear. You know.
Yeah, I get it.
They need to cut him.
We got super chat from the John Bro. What's going on, man? He says, Kelly Green is better than Midnight Green. # Vet Stadium Prison Pride.
Absolutely. Kelly Green, all day. Give me the old Vet Stadium. Even though you had to wait an hour to take a piss in the bathrooms were the most horrible bathrooms ever. That place was dirty, cringy, but man, that was such a home field advantage.
And hopefully we get these. And hopefully we get these Kelly Green. Hopefully they put those Kelly Green. They come out with these Kelly Greens this year or sometime late this year.
Like I'm ready to buy 3. I'm buying AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Nakobe Dean right away.
Yeah. I can't wait.
You know what I saw? There was this. You know how they have the black helmets,
right,
for next year, and they have white ones. Have you seen the white ones?
The white helmets with the black wings.
Yeah, the white helmets. Sick. Oh my gosh, dude! I wish the Eagles would go back to the old days where they had the green helmets at home and the white helmets on the road. That was awesome.
Oh shit! We got a super chat from George Burwell. Thank you so much. What's going on, Joey in Philly? How things going?
What's happening, my man?
Good, man.
How are you?
Philly just had a long road trip. He went on vacation.
That was a dump. It was such a dump.
Would you drive by like a really bad neighborhood or something?
No, it was right there. It was right there where where the link. It was like right across the street. I think it's a parking lot now, if I'm correct. But it was a dump. But it was loud. It was dirty. The turf was horrible, and it was intimidating, especially when you had the Buddy Ryan defense. It was a scary place to play. But don't drink a lot in there, because if you have to go to the bathroom lines were horrendous.
Yeah.
But man, it was intimidating.
We got Ramal says, "Yo, guys, what's up? I can't imagine if Reagor's starting all the way into week 18 of 22.
I couldn't imagine him starting into week 17 of last year, let alone 2022. I hope he's gone."
Got March says, terrible as Howie's draft record is, he's done a great job being a magician with the salary that we are always able to sign, trade for impact players in the offseason.
That's true. And I've always given Howie credit in terms of trades. I think I've said this for years. I think he never gets ripped off in a trade. He always wins a trade. So, I mean, look, right now, and I said this on Dan Celia last week, I consider Howie right now to be the best GM in football. I'm not apologizing right now, but I feel it. Now read between the lines of what I'm saying. Apology video, we'll see. But right now, I think he's the best.
Yeah, the second step to this whole process is, do we have the right coaches in place for these players? That's like defensively. All right, here's an example. Defensively, like if this defense fails this year, are you blaming the players? Or are you blaming Gannon mostly?
I would probably. It depends how they're used. Like if he's blitzing and bringing heat and they're just not getting it done, it's one thing. But if I'm seeing the same exact type stuff as I saw last year, where he just allows these quarterbacks to throw for 80% completion percentage, it's on him, man.
Even like what about like the zone, like the soft zone coverage, like all that? Do you think they just didn't have I know Gannon made the excuse last year he didn't have the right players for this hybrid scheme. So do you think that he has the right players this year, and do you think they could get away with doing soft zone coverage and they have the players for that?
You would think they'll get away from that, right? What would you think they would get away from zone? I mean, I would think so, but do I know? I don't know. Jonathan Gannon is probably my biggest concern. Like if I was what are my top couple concerns? Jonathan Gannon's number one. Because I do not look at the defense he ran last year and think to myself, oh, this guy's dramatically going to change things. That it's hard for me to imagine,
Yeah, no, I get it. And when it comes down to the roster in general, I think when you get these guys in a training camp and when you get these guys through the process, and I think looking at certain positions, you want to see, like, even though you sign James Bradberry, you want to see these young guys produce, because God forbid we sign, Jalen Hurts gets a lot of money after this year. It's going to be extension time at the end of this year. You want to see certain positions produce and see what the coaches can get out of these players that they brought in, even the undrafted guys that maybe are going to take some time with this, with the offense or defense, and see what they could do. So I think it's going to be really important.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not looking for, I mean, when you talked about Jalen Hurts a lot, we talked about Jalen Hurts a bunch of times. Like, you're not looking for him to throw for 4,000 yards. Like, you're not looking to, even if he gets to that point,
I mean, I'm not trying to judge Jalen Hurts on just what numbers come out and say, right? Because you can look at the numbers last year two ways. Some people will say to you, they'll look at Jalen Hurts and go, well, he had 7 touchdowns or whatever called back, right? And then there'll be other people who say, well, he couldn't do anything until the fourth quarter of some games. So it really it's all how you look at it. I just need to see him pass the eye test. I need to see him beat teams with his arm. I think they're going to throw more this year. And I do think, though, like if I had to put a number and guess what probably solidifies him as the long-term starter, I would say if he throws over 25 touchdowns, close to 4,000 yards, rushes for another 6 to 10 touchdowns, I think he's there. I think you're looking at a guy who may get you to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and look, if with the weapons around that Jalen Hurts has, it's a crowded running back room right now. I think the best offensive line in football. I mean, best in the division. I mean, you could say, you get Jalen Hurts to take one big step forward, and like you said, like he's got to win with his arm, and I
think he's going to go out and have a good I'm actually optimistic on Hurts. I think he's going to go out and have a good year. But I think people are going to be more critical of him this year. I don't think there's any excuses. I think he's got all the weapons to succeed, and I think he's just got to go out and do it now. But I'm expecting him to have a good year. Yeah. Question is will it be enough to get an extension? That we'll see.
To be the highest paid quarterback.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I think you have to make a decision this year because you don't want to go into the last year of a quarterback contract and not extend them, and then all of a sudden you need to. Now you have to franchise them, or you have to, compete with other teams. So I don't think you have a choice but to figure it out this year and then make a decision.
Right, yeah. Let's see here. Chris Scott says, I want Bates. Him and Epps can be our 2 starting safeties. Harris can be our 3rd. Epps is better in covers than Harris. Bates is a B-dog kind of safety. They might have a lot of faith in Epps. They might have a lot of faith in him. They might have to change their heart.
I think they do have I don't know. I mean, I like Bates. I don't know if I could say I think he's a Dawkins type guy though.
Yeah,
I like
because he's small. I mean, he's smaller, isn't he?
He's
a little bit. Yeah.
But I think he's a good safety. Don't get me wrong.
But so guys, appreciate. We have 382 in the chat right now. Appreciate being here for this Philly Shakedown podcast. Appreciate everybody. Really, it's been the support's been real for both channels. We do appreciate all the support, and we've been working real hard this offseason. So thank you so much, everybody. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. We cover the Eagles every day. Check out some of the videos and live streams. I mean, here we live stream every single day with Philly. I mean, he gets to do his live streams. He got his memberships. Definitely check out his channel. His link is in the description below. We do this show every single week. And then once the season comes, we'll be doing the show twice a week. So every week, just look for us. We alternate channels. So appreciate everybody coming in.
Going to be celebrating a lot of post games this year.
Yeah, I hope so. The John Bros Super Chat says we need Jim Johnson defense and hashtag big dick offense.
I agree. I believe in a defense that blitzes and relies on getting to the quarterback. I agree with that.
Yeah. Got a super chat from Nick Cabrera says, is Nick Sirianni under pressure this year?
Yeah, I think so. To some level. I think he is. I mean, he's got all the weapons too. He's got to put those guys in the right position. He's got to have the right offense out there. I mean, I think on some level he is, definitely.
Well, when you look at Shane Steichen, though, so Shane Steichen, even not running the ball for weeks last season in the early part of the year, he calls 5-6 plays in a row. He has a play, he has a sheet where he knows the first, 4 or 5 plays he's going to call. So I guess Nick makes the adjustments if he has to. And if we see, Shane Steichen struggling, I'm hoping that Nick, maybe, goes in. I think, it's hard for me because I think Nick has Shane Steichen on a leash when it comes to play calling, but at the same time, Shane has got to, his play design has to be better. Route combinations, who you're giving the ball to, who you're designing the play for, because I was very pissed off last year over how they treated Devontae Smith as not even a number one receiver. You don't throw to him in the playoff game till the third quarter. I mean, you could have had 2,000-yard receivers. I mean, look, Quez, I think could have had 1,000 yards, 900 plus. I mean, he could have had that last year from how much he was open. So
if he would have gotten more snaps, I definitely think so. Yeah, I agree with that. The coaches have to be better too, and there has to be pressure on them as well. There's no question about it.
Yeah. We got a super chat from QJ Smith, who says, breaking news, the Eagles signed linebacker Nate Gary to a 10-year, $100 million deal. This guy loves doing this to you, dude.
That is Nate Gary. I have no doubt that's Nate Gary. I really believe that's the real Nate Gary.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. People are crazy. Crazy. We got a super chat from Bloody Reckless, says, what do you guys expect from our defense early in the season? Aggressive or more coverage style defense?
That is the great question to me. Like, how much more aggressive will they be now that Jonathan Gannon has his personnel? I'm going to say that I have to believe they're going to be a lot more aggressive, and we'll see a lot more aggressive. However, I still think he's going to play a lot of zone coverage. I do, and I think I would play more man to man. I know Bradberry is better in zone coverage.
You're right.
So it's not totally bad, but I have to let. I firmly believe in letting Darius Slay, and I said this last year, shadow the best receiver. So it's a great question. I think I'm going to have to guess. They're going to be more aggressive because I think they have to be. I think they have to be.
Oh yeah, they definitely have to be. 100%. I mean, this defensive line too. They got to figure out. Go ahead. You're good.
No, I want them to bring heat. Yeah. I want to be one of the highest percentage blitzing teams in the National Football League. I want them bring Nakobe Dean. Bring Reddick. Bring it all, man. That's what I want to see.
Mm. Jersey Boy with the Super Chat says, Hurts, 4K passing yards, 65% plus 25 touchdowns, 500 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. Should be enough for a contract, win the division, and a home playoff game. Go Birds. That's what I have him going for. That's what I have him going for.
I think that would probably get it done.
Yeah.
I think that would get it done.
Because Hurts is the only one that makes this pass. I mean, look, because now you have A.J. Brown, and I think they have to – I mean, you think they have to expand the playbook a little bit. I'm saying, like, not through read option RPO because it's not doing much to these defenses. Like, look, and I know some players – we had Nick Foles that did RPOs, but I'm saying with the run style that he has right now, with the run game, because Jalen Hurts makes this run game what it is because people have to respect Jalen Hurts with the ball in his hands. So are you thinking the Eagles have to go to more play action and draw some defenders up?
I think there's going to be more play action. I think there's going to be more passing. I don't think they're going to run heavy as they were. They'll still run the ball, but I think it's going to be cut down. And I think any design run for Hurts, you got to cut down on. So those RPOs where he keeps it and run, like, I think you have to cut down on those. I think you don't want the guy to get hurt again. I don't.
Yeah, I get it. We have a membership message from Clark Roberts, a member for 3 months of the Shake Squad captain. Appreciate it so much, man. Clark Roberts says, do y'all think Nick learned from his mistakes last year when it comes to play calling and aggressiveness? I agree the coaches have to be held accountable.
I think so. I hope so. I mean, the one thing that Nick Sirianni did that I have to give him credit for is he completely changed his offense into a style that fit him in season, so maybe he could have done it a few weeks earlier, but he did it nonetheless. And I think that if they come out, when they come out, I think they're going to throw more. I think you're going to see them throw a lot. And if they struggle and have to go back to where they're run heavy, then I don't think that's a good sign for Jalen Hurts in the future. I really don't. And if they struggle, what if the Eagles start doing 5 and Hurts is struggling? I would not be surprised if they put Minshew in. Yeah, and Minshew could win the division with this roster. So I think the pressure's on Hurts. I think the pressure's on Nick Sirianni. I think it's on Steichen and Jonathan. It's on all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think Hurts is going to struggle. I think he's going to play good, but I do think they're going to come out throwing a lot more than people think.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I was like I was saying, I think they're gonna not run as much as they did. They still got to run, but definitely with now having AJ Brown in your offense, you could do so much more now.
Right.
So I totally get it.
But here's the thing: I'm going to say this is an early prediction. By the end of the year, Devontae Smith will be the best receiver on his team. He will lead in receptions and yards. Devontae Smith's going to have a better year than AJ Brown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got to have a better year this year. I mean, he would have had a better year last year.
He's going against the second corner. Early on, he was going to go second corner. By the end of the year, they're going to be putting their best corner on. So
this is what I get from Eagles fans, though. So when it comes to both these receivers and AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, you're saying AJ Brown is the number one guy.
I think the start of the season, AJ Brown is the number one guy. I think by year end, it's clearly Devontae Smith.
Okay. Yeah, I guess people, go back and forth with that and say Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, and maybe because they both have deep threat ability. I mean, both of them too, and you have a bigger body in AJ Brown that can get yards and run into people too. So contested catching, I mean, it's all there. But
yep.
We got a super chat from Fly Parks. Thank you so much, man. I need at least 3,700 yards out of Jalen this year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think he should have it close to 4,000. I'm thinking between 39 and 4,100. That's the range I'm looking at.
We got a super chat from Felix Torres. Thank you so much. Says rumors that Dillard has been in contact with Bengals.
Well, that would only happen if the Eagles gave permission. But I don't understand that they would even do that because they can't sign him. Can they sign him right now? I guess they could extend him. Because the Eagles didn't pick up his option. So that would mean the Eagles gave the Bengals permission, which would most likely mean they already have a trade workout. Right? Kind of like AJ Brown. Listen, I think trading Andre Dillard makes a lot of sense. He can only play left tackle. He can't play right tackle. If he could play right tackle, I wouldn't move him. I guess you could do a situation. Let's say Lane gets hurt, you move Mulata to right tackle and put him at left tackle. But that may screw Mulata up. So, if they trade him to the Bengals, it's for Bates.
I definitely agree, and I think it's he only plays the left side, but at the same time, like if you take Dillard away, then you only have LaRaven Clark, but he's been hurt ever since we signed him a year or two ago, and he came off that ACL injury with the Colts. I mean, he's been nothing but that's going to be a big problem too because Driscoll, I don't know, he could play the left side. I mean, we might see a Cam Jurgens Driscoll type competition. I mean, you have Samalo coming back. Where are they going to put him? Are they going to put him as a backup guard? Maybe a swing guard on both sides. I don't. He's played the right side as well too. Yeah. So. I don't know. The left tackle is important though.
Yeah, I see somebody says we don't have enough money. Eagles fans says we don't have enough money for Bates. I don't believe that. Look at what they did with Bradberry and what they did with AJ Brown. You can sign these guys and you can set it up so that for like an extension that doesn't kick in this year. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown's extension. I mean, he's only $5 million against the cap this year. You can work it out if you really want to. You give up front money first year. You give that signing bonus money for first year. You can make it work. So my point is you may see $8 million ago. They don't have enough money, but they always can manipulate the cap to make
it doesn't mean they can't still sign him. Even if they don't have the money, they can still sign him and make room. Like there's plenty of moves. They can wiggle around whatever they can wiggle around. So. Right. When someone asked about the cap, I don't care anymore. We can go after any player.
I mean, the Rams don't seem to worry about the cap. The Saints were $63 million over the cap coming into the season.
But here's the difference with the Rams. So the Rams give away first round picks. The Rams trade a lot of picks for that's
older picks.
We look what Howie does without giving away big picks. You know what I mean? Like, but look what you're getting for those, first and a third for AJ Brown, not giving up day two picks or 2 first rounders for 2023 season. Yeah. So it's amazing what he did with the cap.
If they really wanted the kid and they want to sign him, they could sign him to an extension, give him a huge signing bonus, and they could set it up so the salary cap doesn't affect them until next year, and gives them time. So there's always ways to manipulate it.
Yeah, A.J. Brown going to his first year on his big deal next year, $8.3 million cap hit. I mean, that's it. It's not even $10 million. It's crazy, dude. It's nuts. We got a super chat from Skid Marks. He says, "Hey, 500, is this you on draft night convincing Howie?" Is that a real picture? Is that really you?
That's not me. That's kind of me. Well, it's my face, like mixed with somebody.
What is going on that board there?
I'm giving Howie the game plan.
Does that say recycling?
That is hilarious. I need that thumbnail. That is the greatest thumbnail, Skid Marks. Yeah, that's definitely me, man. I was helping Howie out. No question.
You're like, there you go. Oh, good stuff, Skid Marks.
That's awesome.
Ramal says, "Yo, guys, the only Achilles heel the defense has are Gannon and Barnett. Those are the ones I worry most. Barnett would make dumb third down offside fouls."
I agree. Totally agree.
Like, what is he going to do? Like, what?
Who, Barnett?
Yeah, just
listen, you'd be surprised how many people are telling me Barnett's going to have a breakout year this year. Like, I'm shocked. A lot of people think he's going to have a good year. And listen, I hope he does. I hope he has 9 sacks this year. I think you need it. But I got to see it first.
Yeah, I agree. The John Brothers Super Chat says, "F the Cowboys."
Absolutely.
I've been hearing so much stuff this week. Man, they're hating any move that we've made. There's always putting videos about certain players. I mean, it's just getting crazy now.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that if you go back, like I saw one where there's one Cowboy fan, he literally was begging the team to sign Bradberry. And then when we did it, it was like, what a complete waste to get this guy. It's like, oh my gosh. Cowboy fans are scared. Cowboys are scared. They should be scared. They've taken a bunch of steps back. We've taken a bunch of steps forward. And I think, I think they're worried. I do.
Yeah, I get it. They should
I'm all for Clowney, Will G. Perez. I'm all for Clowney. I think that would be such a sneaky good signing. I don't know that the Eagles will do it, but I have no problem with making your defensive line even better.
Yeah. How much is he going to cost? I mean, at this
What's he
point,
going to cost? $8-9 million, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
But what do you listen? Bradberry was what, 10 million or 8 million plus incentives? He's $2.27 million against the cap. All you do is you sign the guy to a 1-year deal, you give him upfront signing bonus money. They can manipulate it. So Clowney's only $3 million against the cap. I have no. There's ways to work it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true that. Torville says Eagles still need to run the ball even with A.J. Brown. Our O-line is built to steamroll. Milano and Dickerson are maulers. That left side.
Our offensive line is still the strength of the team. Right. Their strength of the team, and they're going to run the ball, but I just don't think it's going to be as much as last year. I think that they're going to throw more.
Yeah, I think so too. Mark says, "Hey, super team, I'm not sure about the Eagles, but you two are a good match."
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Wizzo May says he had had to change the offense. He was being killed by fans and media. Talking about Nick Sirianni.
Well, yeah, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. I think they had a problem because I think Hurts has to develop as a passer, but I think you really only had one option, and that was Devontae Smith. Well, Devontae and Goddard, but I think Reagor was giving you nothing, and he was taking away from Quez Watkins playing, and I think that really was hurting them a lot.
Oh, even at least put a Greg Ward. I mean, Greg Ward would have done something in the slot. I mean, something at this point. He caught that one touchdown, and they were kind of putting him in games here and there, like for a snap or two. But I mean, he looked horrible, but it's because he wasn't playing all year. So
right.
I got Chris says the best 2 Eagles content creators are Shakes and 500. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. You're very kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As your Willis says, I just don't see Hurt struggling. He's only 23, so we just need to let him grow. He's going to be good this year. Mark my words.
Yeah,
I hope he is.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think he's gonna have a good year. I'm expecting big things from him.
Yeah, true that. Let's see. Brad writes, the Eagles going to run a lot when it's called for. They have other options now. They can do what they please to the other teams.
Yeah. Pause.
We're not going to be pleasing anybody, but
play action, baby. Play action will kill it.
So who you have? So how many running backs do you think the Eagles are going to keep, and who's making it?
Well, they're going to keep Miles. They're going to keep Ball Scott. They're going to keep Professor Kenneth Gainwell. So they're going to keep those three. I think they're going to keep four. I think this Brooks kid from Oklahoma is going to make it unless they bring in a veteran. I think they're going to keep four.
Yeah, I think Kenny Brooks is more the bruiser, like on the bruiser side, run through the tackles type running back. And Jerry Howard Jr. is another one they brought in for rookie minicamp, but I don't even know if he made the team. I didn't see anything about him making the team or not making the team.
The Jerry Howard?
Yeah.
230. He got a tryout, but he didn't actually sign. And they've only signed one guy, that Wheatfield, whatever the hell that guy's name is. He's the only guy that they had tryout that they signed. So I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Mallory says, "What's up, fellas? Appreciate both channels. Fly, let's fly."
Thank you, my man. Shout out to you
so much. Second said, I think Devonta Smith is the biggest star on this team with AJ Brown that gives him more of an opening.
I agree. I agree 100%. I think Devonta Smith's going off this year.
Mm-hmm. Gotta give him the ball, man. Got to do it.
Yep.
Which King of Agamore, what's going on? Says apparently Jeffrey Lurie was the reason we drafted Arcega-Whiteside. He got Peterson to sign off on the pick. Metcalf was completely off our board.
Yeah, I saw a couple things today, where people send me where it's rumors saying that Lurie gave Howie complete control this year, and that really all the bad picks, everything, I guess, was Jeffrey Lurie over the years. I don't know. To me, it always seems like when it's a bad pick, there's an excuse.
Yeah.
For why it was a bad pick. I don't. I think anything's possible. He is the owner. Maybe that's why he never blames Howie. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I feel like something has changed with how the Eagles draft process has gone the last 2 years. And what I mean by that is, like, they're actually drafting guys from the SEC. Many of us said, just stick with the SEC, stick with the SEC. And they were drafting UCLA.
Did
Oregon,
you see that? What Jeffrey Lurie said to Howie, that thing that he said to him about drafting, you should draft more. They saw Dickerson and Devontae Smith brought to the team last year, and he said, you should draft more of those guys in the SEC.
Yeah,
like,
we've
really?
been saying that for how many years? Stick with the SEC.
Crap.
So, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I can only blame what I can blame Howie for. And I can only give him credit for what I can give him credit for.
Even another example is when John Clark this offseason had an interview with Doug, and Doug, why'd you guys draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson? And he said, you're looking at, quote unquote, Doug's like, you're looking at me. So I'm like, this guy had nothing to do with that pick as well. And then you look at, Then you look at like after the first night of the draft, you saw Nick and Howie, right? And the relationship, you felt like there was just a different atmosphere in that room. Like it wasn't too like professional. They seemed very laid back. They seemed like there was a different feeling in that room.
It's called Inception. I think Nick Sirianni knew how to put ideas in. See, I don't think you can go to Howie Roseman and say, Howie, this is what I want. This is what we need to do. This is the guy. I don't think Howie is that kind of guy. I think you got to make Howie think that he came up with the idea. And then he does it. And that's what I think they did. That's my theory. But listen, Howie, I mean, you got to give the guy credit, right? For as many times as he's done bad things, he comes back and he does really good things. And And so I give him full credit. I want to be like, I've had my issues with Howie, but I want to be fair. When he does good, I want to say he does good, but I want to also hold him responsible for when he's not good and when he screws up. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, I'm saying for a team that we knew that had a little bit of cap space to work with, and the amount of moves that we missed on, like Calvin Ridley, there are things that just happen for a reason. And Calvin Ridley having that gambling issue and all of that, you wouldn't have A.J. Brown right now. I mean,
I would much rather have A.J. Brown than Calvin Ridley.
Definitely.
So, definitely. I mean, it worked out. No question about it.
Dean Batter says Howie will push money back to 2044 if he has to.
That's true. That's true. But I think right now, what I like most about what Howie is doing is I just like the way he's constructing the roster. If you go back and watch some of my older videos, right before the Eagles won in 2017, and then right after they won, I was a little concerned about Torrey Smith. Even Alshon Jeffrey, because I thought we were getting guys who were going to give us 1 or 2 year window when we had a young quarterback. What I like about this roster is he's giving us young players, and he's constructing a roster that can be good for the next 5 to 10 years. That to me is more appealing, even than what they did in 2017.
Yeah, and just like there's nothing wrong with being over the cap, but when you're like last year, 73 million, 75 over the cap, and you have to, because of your bad drafting since the Super Bowl, obviously between this draft and last draft were good, but besides those drafts, when you have to restructure players to give them more guaranteed money up front, you're kicking the bigger cap hits down the road, which are affecting us, and this is why we turned into a really bad roster. But just a matter of 2 years, this roster has gotten younger. Probably from the Super Bowl, we were probably the second oldest roster, besides the Broncos were the number 1 oldest roster at that time. And now getting younger and now hitting these drafts. Like this is the first draft, the first offseason where, besides the Derek Barnett thing, he's done everything we wanted him to do, not only from the draft, but even the pre-draft visits. We liked all the guys they were bringing in, trade-up candidates and guys that we were going to be available at 15, 18. So it was... Right. It was eye-opening, but we didn't know what was going to happen, though, until we gave good luck with our Matt Corral jersey.
I really liked that they got away from UCLA, USC.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they were drafting the guys from those schools, I was just like, oh, come on, man. Stick with Alabama. Stick with the SEC, and you're all right.
Sean Sebasucha, Howie has now put the pressure on JG and Nick Smart.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Jersey Boy the Super Chat says, who are your breakout players this year?
Wow, man. That's
a great question. Could be a lot of them this year.
I mean, would saying Devontae Smith has a breakout year, is that saying a lot? Can I even say that? Because I think he's going to have a monster year. I think Miles has a break. I think Miles is going to have 1,200 yards this year. I think he's going to walk. So I'll go Miles, Devontae, if I can even say that. I think Quez is going to have a possibly breakout year. And then defensively, I'm going to say Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, to me, is one of the guys I think has to elevate his game defensively. And I think with Reddick and upgraded line, I think he's going to have more opportunities to do so. But I'm going to say him.
Do you think Nakobe Dean's going to have quick success?
Yes. I think he's day one plug-and-play starter.
Middle linebacker.
Yeah. Yep.
How about that?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait for him, man. Can't wait.
Oh, me too. Milton Williams is a good one because I could very well see that happening. That's a good name.
Yeah, he had a strong start, and he was a little quiet, and then I think that Cowboys game at the end of the year when we took all our starters out to bench him for that playoff game, they were moving him from that. They gave him so many snaps, but that man was getting pressure against the starting line. He
flashed all year at different times. Felix Torres, I think that was a great name. Yeah, I think so.
Jordan Davis next to Milton Williams sounds pretty good to me.
Yep. Kirk Johnson, you've been saying Quez for 2 years. Hey, listen, I thought Quez took a giant step last year.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I thought Quez lived up to it. Matter of fact, I thought that he should have had more snaps.
Yes.
And he would have even had a bigger year. But I thought Quez had a great year. And I think he's going to continue to get better.
Yeah.
Gainwell could be another guy, yeah.
Bryce said, I think Landon can take his game to a Pro Bowl level. I think your whole left side is Pro Bowl material right now.
Oh, yeah, I already think so.
Come on.
I think they were Pro Bowl last year.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mulata wouldn't have. I don't know how he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He missed a couple games. I mean, that was pretty much it. Maybe
you know what happens. Guys, the first time sometimes they get screwed, and because it's such a reputational type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how Kelsey gets screwed of all what he goes through, and the guy plays injured half the time and plays at a high level and still doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
Exactly.
So, Joey Zambio with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, is there more pressure on Hurts or the coaches, and why?
I think Hurts.
Yes,
because at the end of the day, he's the quarterback. He's the guy on the field. So I think he's going to have more pressure, but I still think the coaches got a lot. But of course. Yeah, I have to go with Hurts.
Agreed. We got a super chat from Skid Marks. He says it's huge that Hurts has his OC return since high school.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dude, just think about that picture's great. Just think about it, dude. Like you look at the difference. Like I'm not going to talk about Carson Wentz that much, but. I mean, we haven't really talked about what he said about, he can't wait till he plays us week 3 in Washington. But when you look at Jalen Hurts and how they built around him, like, look what they've done. Like, they got Brian Johnson as the OC coach, obviously knew him from his past, and having Devontae Smith that he played with in college, and having A.J. Brown that we didn't know he worked out with him every year until, like, we heard that they worked out every offseason, and you already have the chemistry already there, which is great. It's so perfect. I mean, even getting Grant Calcaterra in the 6th round. They played at Oklahoma together in 2019. I mean, there's so many connections with Hurts and some of these players. I mean, it's a perfect situation for Jalen Hurts. Perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, click on Yeet.
Who?
It's Yeet. Yeah, there you go. Philly 5, you're going to hate me, but I think your boy is going to actually have more sacks and penalties this year. Does that mean he's going to have no penalties, or because how many sacks do we expect him to get? Like 5? See, I don't know where. I hope you're right. First of all, I hope Barnett goes and has 10, 12 sacks this year. I really do. I would love it, but I don't know why so many people think he's going to have a good year when he hasn't done anything to ever show us it. So I have to see it. But hey, listen, I hope you're right. But when I read that, I go, "Oh my gosh, he's going to have 3 sacks and 1 penalty."
Yeah, we don't try to shit on these guys. Like, we don't want to shit on them, and we make jokes about it. And it's just what he did last year with those penalties and just ruining those drives where our defense could be off the field, and he kind of ruins that. And there's unnecessary stuff that he does. Like, there's a lot of unnecessary penalties that he does.
I hope Barnett has 13 sacks, Pro Bowl year. I do, because I have no problem saying, hey, I was wrong about this guy. Hey, this guy, I have no problem eating crow if I'm wrong. So I hope he does.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. Would you get a Barnett jersey if he gets double-digit sacks?
No. Well, I mean, I get maybe if Barnett gets double-digit sacks, I will buy a Derek Barnett jersey and wear it.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
Now someone answered this. So the Hit Squad says, what if Jalen Hurts gets traded and AJ Brown wants to leave? Is that even possible?
No, I don't. I don't worry about that. What's he gonna do?
He's roped into
say, "Oh, my friend is gone. I can't be here anymore." You're getting paid how much money? It's a business at the end of the day. So
right.
you have to. AJ Brown is going to do what's best for him, and he's still friends with Hurts. But at the end of the day, you gotta be a grown man and go out there and play.
Yeah. Yeet. Rod says, who do you think will get an apology video first, Howie or Barnett?
Howie. Probably Howie.
Yeah.
Because if the Eagles go and win 13 games, I'm probably going to do the apology video then before the draft even comes.
Oh wow! Because I think you said before that you would do it by one
first round.
Draft.
But if they won 13 games and they're I might have to do it early. But I don't want to jinx it. I feel like if I do an apology video too early, I'm going to jinx the whole thing. So I'm not doing it.
This guy. So he's got the penalties and dates for Barnett. Oh my
God. Roughing the passer 10-3. Neutral zone infraction 11-7. Defensive offside 11-14. This is great. Roughing the passer 11-14. Hey, listen. I remember those. Those are how many sacks did he have last year? Like what, 3?
2.
2.5?
8 penalties, 2 sacks.
Oh my God. That's bad.
Right? Well, I'm saying, like, what you think it's a voided contract next year? You think they can just get out of it? They can get out of this contract with Barnett after this year.
Yeah, I guess they could.
In my opinion, in the draft next year, they have to go after an edge rusher. I think with that first pick. I think with Brandon Graham last year in his contract this year, so we don't know what's going on with him. Josh Sweat is still climbing up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Agreed.
Well, what's going on, Paul S. Jones with the super chat? Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated, dude. He said, really enjoy you guys' hard work and dedication. Great draft responses. Oh, we had
Thank
fun.
you, man. Shout out to you.
we had fun. That was the most relaxing, exciting draft. I mean, I swear, like we were expecting really bad things before that draft, and wow, Matt Corral jerseys, way to go.
Matt Corral jerseys, good luck charm. I'm not getting rid of it either.
It's still sitting on my other couch right now. It's still sitting on my couch.
It's good luck for us.
Thank you for that super chat, man. Appreciate it so much. Paul. So Glizzy says, I asked Joey this earlier, but I wanted your opinion. 500. Do you think the Eagles give Carson a thank you video on the Jumbotron when he returns? I really don't know.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
See, I think he's going to get booed.
I have a big, I would say.
I think I'll say no, only because they know that everybody will be booing the honor thing. He'll get one when he retires, but he won't get one now because if they put a Carson thank you video on that Jumbotron, I think people will start booing more than cheering.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
So if I had to guess, I'm going to say no, but it wouldn't surprise me.
If the Eagles are dumb enough to think that they're going to cheer for this guy, I mean, I could see Doug Pearson coming back
Doug's going to get a standing ovation. He may get a thank you, but I don't know. But Carson, I don't know.
Yeah, probably not going to be great.
Well, because I don't think they want to do a thank you video to have the fans boo.
No, and what about the relationship between him, Howie, and Jeffrey Lurie? I mean, is it good? Is it bad?
Right.
I mean, it probably wasn't great at the end of this whole thing with him leaving.
Right.
So
yeah, I'll say no because I don't think they would want to put a thank you video up there and have the fans literally boo it.
Yeah,
and especially that's I think that's a Monday night game, which means that's on ESPN, which means everybody's going to be showing the Eagles fans how classless we are.
Yeah, so it's going to be perfect. That's going to be a perfect day for it. They're going to do it. It's going to be crazy. Skid Mark says 500. The thumbnail is you on the big board schooling Howie and wide receiver. 10 minutes later, he trades for AJ.
I love it. It's perfect. It's the greatest picture ever.
I could see you doing that. But other than that, guys, I mean, we have 436 in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah, thank you.
The support's been unreal on both channels, guys, and especially you guys for the love of the Philly Shakedown with us every week. We do appreciate it. We love to have fun and just talk Eagles, and that's it. So we appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Hit the link in the description for Philly 500. Check out his videos, memberships, everything. We do content all year round, every single day, and it doesn't stop. So if you guys are new, if you guys are new, we do the Philly Shakedown every week, in the off season, once per week. And then once the season comes, we'll be doing it Saturday and Sunday, depending on obviously if it's a Monday night game, Thursday night, whatever it is.
So pre-game, post-game, like
Right.
night before game and then post-game after they win.
Yeah. After they win.
They're going to win a lot this year. Let's keep it real.
But guys, that's about it for today. Definitely hit the like button if you guys haven't, guys. Much appreciated.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. And appreciate the super chats and everything today, just supporting us. And that's it. So obviously, before we go, what are you looking for next? What will fulfill this whole off season as a 100% completion of going to OTAs and training camp?
I'm going to look for depth pieces. I still think there's some depth pieces that they've got to add. I would love a giant like Jesse Bates trade or something like that, but I'm not expecting it. I think smaller depth piece signings, maybe at running back, maybe even on the defensive line. I think they're going to shore up some depth. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I could probably say the same thing. I'd probably talk about just in depth and look at some of the depth pieces. And obviously, through training camp and stuff, even with the waiver wire, we'll be watching players go through that as well. Maybe the Eagles can pick up some gems.
And you got June cuts coming. We know a bunch of players that are getting it, but there's always some surprises too. So we kind of have to see who wiggles free. Yeah.
Yep, I totally agree. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Yipu, what's going on? Thanks. He says, thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Like it says, Joey and Philly, great stream. Thank you so much,
guys.
Thank
you, my man.
And that's it. We'll see you next Saturday on Philly 500's channel. We'll be on his channel, and just keep watching our videos, and we'll when anything comes up, we'll be around. So, All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next one. See you later, guys.